Welcome back, Legion. Hope everyone's doing well and getting used to the new lifestyle of self-isolation. If you're lucky enough to keep working, well done. Good on you. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Hope this thing turns around pretty quickly. Anyway, if it doesn't and we're here for a while, I just want to have a chat to you guys about how to stay motivated during this lockdown period. Now, it's important to not just rely on motivation to get you through, because motivation is very ebbing and flowing. It comes and it goes, and it's not enough to create long-term and sustainable progress. So we actually all have an opportunity to adjust the routine. We can actually change our lifestyles and the way we go about things in a positive manner to work for us. So for example, one thing that I saw today, so this isn't necessarily my words, this was actually off Headspace, which I thought was pretty cool. They had a really cool video about if you're now working from home, how you should set yourself up. So your environment's changed, but you should still try and find a little space. So for example, I'm in my kitchen and I've made this my little hub for my workstation, but this is only where I do work. I don't do work anywhere else, unless I'm shooting a video in the lounge room. But then I've got my little gym set up outside, so that's my gym space. Outside is playtime. I've got a cool little basketball ring in the kitchen now. So everything is still separated. So when I leave this space here, I know that I'm not working. I'm relaxing, I'm doing whatever. And I thought that was pretty cool, because this is a big part of sustainable change, is changing your environment. So everyone's getting a little bit worried about it, but you can actually use it and spin it to your own advantage. You can actually make the most of this change and put positive things in place to now start to create new habits, hopefully good habits. And it's only a couple of days in, so I encourage you guys to have a think about it, sit down, write out some things that you actually positively want to change, and then you can start to work through it and make it happen. Because otherwise, if you don't, you could potentially get into some bad habits, and I've already caught myself a few times potentially working down that path, and I'm really trying to avoid that happening, because it's so easy. I mean, realistically, I'm not at work, so I could probably just go and sit in the lounge room at the couch. So what you need to understand is that motivation will ebb and flow, and we want to use good habits to build towards a better version of yourself. So the best way that I kind of know this is through atomic habits. So number one, we want to make it obvious. Okay, so atomic habits is changing things very small parts at any one time. So you don't want to try and make this big leap. You just want to change very small things frequently over time, and then that'll gradually build to something pretty big. So the first thing you do is make it obvious. So make it easy enough for yourself to deliver that habit or get into that habit. So for example, you might say, I will eat one piece of fruit at 12 o'clock in my kitchen. So you're naming the behaviour because you want to eat more fruit, you want to be healthier, you're giving it a time, 12 o'clock, and you're doing it in your kitchen. As opposed to, I just want to eat more fruit because it's going to be healthy for me. That's great to say it, but you need to put it in place. There needs to be an action. You can also habit stack. So you can, if you already have a current habit that you do, you can stack on top of it to make it easier. You're kind of just pairing the two. The next thing is to make it attractive. So it needs to be something that you really want to do, and you can even pair it with an action that you already really want to do. So for example, I'm trying to make a habit of doing more mobility every day. So I've decided to share a bit of a mobility class with all the Ludus members. So it's kind of doing a 2-for-1 really. It's benefiting me because now I get to do 10 minutes at least of mobility a day, which is good, but I also get to share it with everyone else, which I enjoy. make it easy. So it needs to be something that you're not going to have too much friction on. If it's too challenging, then you won't get any benefit. You won't get the most out of it. The dog's having a bit of a sook at the moment. And then the last one is to make it satisfying. So when you complete the habit or complete the task, you need to feel very satisfied that you did it. You want to feel very, very proud of yourself that you did it. Start small and slowly chip away at it. So even if you think of the big picture of like, I want to lose 5 kilos, like that's great, but think about what are the things that you need to change for that to happen, and then just break it down into smaller and smaller pieces. So that apple might be the first example, and you just nail that as often as you can, day in, day out. And then once you feel like that's a habit, sweet, I eat an apple a day now, move to the next thing. Right, what's the next thing that I could do? I could probably eat a little bit more protein. Okay, I'm going to try and have protein at every single meal. Nice, simple solutions. If you got any questions, guys, feel free to comment below, and I'm more than happy to help. Cheers.